The mask falls. The face is revealed. And the wrestling world stands frozen in absolute shock. For weeks, a shadow has been haunting Monday Night Raw, striking from the darkness, disappearing into the crowd like a ghost. A figure dressed in all black, using moves that didn't belong to him, attacking legends, helping villains, and leaving nothing but chaos in his wake. Survivor Series became ground zero when this mystery man climbed the War Games cage and delivered a curb stomp that changed everything. CM Punk collapsed. Braun Breaker got the win. And Paul Heyman smiled like the devil himself. But now the truth is out. The identity has been confirmed. Austin Theory, the former golden boy of WWE, has returned with a vengeance, a shaved head, and something dark burning in his eyes. And if you think this story is over, you're dead wrong. Because what just happened on Raw isn't an ending. It's a warning, a declaration. And Paul Heyman's master plan has only just begun. You're watching SLAMZONE, where we break down the most intense, shocking, and game-changing moments in professional wrestling, and what we just witnessed might be the beginning of the most dangerous faction in WWE history. This is bigger than Austin Theory. This is about the Vision taking over Monday Night Raw, crushing anyone who stands in their way, and sending a message that echoes through every locker room in the company. Nobody is safe. Not CM Punk. Not Rey Mysterio. Not LA Knight. And certainly not anyone who dares challenge Paul Heyman's empire. Let me take you back to where this nightmare began. Survivor Series, War Games. Two teams locked inside the demonic double cage structure. CM Punk fighting with everything he has, delivering punishment, hitting his signature GTS on Logan Paul, going for the cover. Victory is within reach. The crowd is on their feet. And then, everything changes. A figure in black appears at the top of the cage. Nobody knows who it is. Nobody sees it coming. He slides into the ring, stands between Punk and Braun Breaker, and without hesitation, delivers a superkick followed by a devastating curb stomp. Seth Rollins' move. The Visionary's signature weapon. Wade Barrett on commentary suggests it could be Rollins himself, but he also reminds everyone that Seth just had shoulder surgery. The masked man scales back over the cage and vanishes. Braun Breaker capitalizes with a monstrous spear, pins CM Punk, and the Vision walks away victorious. That moment sent shockwaves through the entire WWE universe. Who was under that mask? Was it Seth Rollins, betraying his own principles and returning to help the men who kicked him out of the Vision? Was it someone brand new making their debut in the most explosive way possible? Was it a returning superstar looking to make an immediate impact? The speculation was endless. Montez Ford's name came up because of the attacker's build and athleticism. Chris Jericho's name was thrown around because his AEW contract was expiring and WWE had been rumored to have plans for him. But the name that kept surfacing, the name that fans whispered with growing certainty, was Austin Theory. And they were right. But the reveal didn't come at Survivor Series. No, Paul Heyman is too smart for that. The mystery man returned the following week on Raw. During a match between Rey Mysterio and LA Knight, the hooded figure struck again. He attacked both men, hitting that same brutal stomp, helping the Vision once more before disappearing into the crowd. Adam Pearce, the Raw general manager, was furious. He confronted Paul Heyman backstage, demanding answers. Who is this person? Why are they helping the Vision? What is Heyman's connection to this chaos? And Paul Heyman, the master manipulator, the greatest liar in WWE history, looked Pearce dead in the eye and said he had no idea what he was talking about. Heyman played innocent. He claimed he was guilty of many things, but not this. Of course, nobody believed him. How could they? This had Paul Heyman's fingerprints all over it. The attacks continued. Week after week, the mystery man appeared, always at the perfect moment, always helping the Vision secure victories they didn't deserve. And every time Adam Pearce tried to get answers, Paul Heyman danced around the truth, smiled that knowing smile, and walked away untouched. The tension was building. The frustration was mounting. And fans around the world were screaming at their screens, desperate to know the identity of this masked assassin. Then came the main event of December 16th Raw. Logan Paul vs. Rey Mysterio, a legend against a social media star turned legitimate wrestler. The match is intense, back and forth, both men giving everything they have. Rey Mysterio, at his age, still flying through the air like he's 20 years younger, hitting his signature moves, building momentum. Logan Paul, proving once again that he's not just a celebrity dabbling in wrestling but a real competitor who can hang with anyone. The match reaches its climax. And just like clockwork, the mystery attacker appears. He's on the ring apron, stalking, waiting for the perfect moment. Paul Heyman distracts the referee. It's the oldest trick in the book, but it works every single time. The masked man delivers the stomp to Rey Mysterio on the apron. Mysterio crumbles. Logan Paul wastes no time, hitting his superstar splash from the top rope, covering Mysterio for the 1, 2, 3. Logan Paul wins. But that's not the story. The real story is what happens next. CM Punk, the world heavyweight champion, the man who has been targeted by the Vision for weeks, storms down to the ring with a chair in his hands. He's had enough. He's done watching from the sidelines. He wants answers. He wants justice. He wants to unmask this coward and expose him to the world. The masked man sees Punk coming and leaps over the barricade into the crowd. Punk chases after him, the arena buzzing with electricity. And then, in the middle of the crowd, surrounded by shocked fans, the mystery man stops running. He reaches up. He grabs the mask. and he pulls it off. Austin Theory. The crowd erupts. Some fans scream in shock, others scream in excitement. But everyone is on their feet because this is the moment we've been waiting for. Austin Theory stands there with a completely new look. His head is shaved. His beard is grown out. His eyes have a darkness we've never seen before. This isn't the cocky, selfie-taking Austin Theory we used to know. This is something different. This is a man who disappeared from WWE television months ago, was forgotten by management, pushed aside after his partnership with Grayson Waller fizzled out, and has now returned with a purpose. He's not here to take selfies. He's not here to be a comedy act. He's here to destroy. He's here to align with the most dangerous faction on Raw. He's here to be a part of Paul Heyman's vision. And before anyone can process what's happening, Braun Breaker charges into the ring and demolishes CM Punk with a spear. Punk never saw it coming. He was too focused on Austin Theory in the crowd. He turned around right into Breaker's devastating move. The Raw goes off the air with Braun Breaker standing over CM Punk, holding the World Heavyweight Championship above his head, talking trash, letting Punk know that on January 5th, the title is coming home to the Vision. You can feel the danger in the air. You can sense that something massive is building. Because Austin Theory joining the Vision isn't just about adding another member to the faction. It's about Paul Heyman executing a masterplan that nobody saw coming. Think about what's happened over the past few months. Seth Rollins founded the Vision with the idea of dominating Raw. But Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman turned on him, kicked him out of his own faction, and took over. Now Heyman is the mastermind behind everything. He's the one pulling the strings. He's the one recruiting talent. And Austin Theory is his latest weapon. But here's where it gets even more interesting, and this is something you need to understand if you want to fully appreciate what Paul Heyman is doing. Reports have surfaced that Heyman specifically pitched Austin Theory as the newest member of the Vision, and his reasoning is brilliant. Heyman doesn't just want more muscle. He doesn't just want more bodies. He wants strategic protection for his top stars. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are the powerhouses of the faction. They're the future main eventers. They're the ones who are going to carry WWE for the next decade. Heyman doesn't want them taking unnecessary losses. He doesn't want them being pinned in tag matches or multi-man matches where the result doesn't really matter. That's where Austin Theory comes in. Theory is young, talented, and hungry to prove himself. He can take the pins. He can take the losses. And in the process, he'll learn from Paul Heyman, grow as a performer, and develop into a main event star himself. It's genius. It's exactly what Paul Heyman has always done throughout his career. He takes talented individuals who are being underutilized, gives them a new direction, a new purpose, and turns them into stars. He did it with CM Punk in the original ECW. He did it with Brock Lesnar in WWE. He did it with Roman Reigns during the Tribal Chief era. And now he's doing it with Austin Theory. But the story doesn't end with Theory's unmasking. Not even close. Because if you've been paying attention, if you've been watching carefully, there's evidence that suggests Austin Theory might not be the only mystery attacker. Fans noticed something strange during the previous week's episode of Raw. When the hooded figure attacked Rey Mysterio and LA Knight, his body language was different. His movements didn't match the person who attacked CM Punk at Survivor Series. He looked slightly different, moved slightly different. And that has led to speculation that there could be a second mystery attacker working alongside Theory. Some fans believe it could be Montez Ford, who has the athletic build and high-flying ability to match what we've seen. Others think it could be Ricky Saints from NXT, who recently turned heel and could be making his main roster debut in the most shocking way possible. And there are still people holding out hope that Chris Jericho, whose AEW contract expires at the end of December, could be the second Masked Man, making his return to WWE after years away. Imagine if that's true. Imagine if Paul Heyman reveals another attacker in the coming weeks. Imagine the Vision growing even stronger, adding more talent, becoming an unstoppable force that nobody can defeat. CM Punk would be surrounded, outnumbered, outgunned. And when he defends his World Heavyweight Championship against Braun Breaker on January 5th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, he might be walking into a trap with no way out. Let me talk about that match for a second, because it's arguably the most important match on the Raw schedule right now. CM Punk vs. Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. Punk has been on fire since returning to WWE. He's been cutting promos that remind everyone why he's one of the best talkers in wrestling history. He's been having incredible matches. He's been carrying that championship with pride. But Braun Breaker is a different kind of challenge. Breaker isn't just strong. He isn't just athletic. He's a second-generation superstar with the Steiner bloodline running through his veins. He's a genetic freak, just like his uncle Scott Steiner. And with Paul Heyman in his corner, guiding him, strategizing for him, he's more dangerous than ever before. Now that Austin Theory has been revealed, CM Punk knows what to expect, right? He knows Theory will be at ringside. He knows there will be interference. He knows Paul Heyman will try every dirty trick in the book to get that title off of him. But what if there's more? What if Heyman has another mystery attacker waiting in the wings? What if Punk prepares for Theory, fights off the interference, and then gets blindsided by someone else? That's the kind of psychological warfare Paul Heyman specializes in. He doesn't just want to win. He wants to break his opponents mentally. He wants them looking over their shoulders, second-guessing every decision, paranoid about what's coming next. And that brings me to the bigger picture. The vision isn't just about winning championships or dominating Raw. It's about control. It's about power. It's about Paul Heyman proving that he is the greatest mind in professional wrestling. He's not a wrestler. He's not the one taking the bumps, but he's the one orchestrating everything from behind the scenes. He's the puppet master. And Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and now Austin Theory are his weapons of destruction. Before we go any further, I need you to do something for me. If you're feeling the intensity of this storyline, if you're as invested as I am in seeing where this goes, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to SLAMZONE if you haven't already. We're a family here, and we're going through this wild journey together. Every week, we break down the biggest moments, the most shocking twists, and the stories that make professional wrestling the greatest form of entertainment on the planet. So join the family, hit that notification bell, and let's continue this conversation together. Because what's happening on Raw right now is must-see television, and you don't want to miss a single second of it. Now, let's talk about the implications for the rest of the Raw roster. Rey Mysterio has been attacked multiple times. LA Knight was taken out. CM Punk is the primary target. Who's next? Who else is Paul Heyman looking at? Who else is on his hit list? The answer is anyone who stands in the Vision's way. Anyone who challenges their authority. Anyone who refuses to bow down to Heyman's empire. And that should terrify every single superstar on the Monday Night Raw roster. There's also the question of Adam Pearce's response. As the general manager, he has a responsibility to maintain order. He has a responsibility to protect his roster. And he's been completely outplayed by Paul Heyman. Heyman has lied to his face. Heyman has manipulated situations. Heyman has orchestrated attacks right under Pearce's nose. And Pearce has been powerless to stop it. So what happens now? Does Pearce suspend Paul Heyman? Does he find the Vision? Does he strip Braun Breaker of his championship opportunity? Or does he realize that Paul Heyman is too smart, too connected, too powerful to be stopped by conventional means? There's speculation that Pearce could suspend Heyman before the January 5th championship match to prevent him from interfering. That would be a smart move. Take Heyman out of the equation and force Braun Breaker to stand on his own. But would that even work? Heyman has already demonstrated that he has contingency plans. He has Austin Theory. He potentially has other mystery attackers. He has Logan Paul. He has Bronson Reed. Even without being physically present at ringside, Heyman's influence would still be felt. His fingerprints would still be all over the match. And that's what makes him so dangerous. Austin Theory's return is also a fascinating redemption story. Think about where he was just a few months ago. He was paired with Grayson Waller in a team that went nowhere. They were comedy acts. They were treated as mid-card performers at best. Theory was getting crickets from the crowd. Nobody cared about him. He was a former United States champion who had completely lost his momentum. WWE didn't know what to do with him. So he disappeared. He went off television. And most fans forgot he even existed. But Paul Heyman didn't forget. Heyman saw potential in Austin Theory. He saw a young, athletic, talented performer who just needed the right guidance and the right storyline. So Heyman recruited him. Heyman gave him a new look. Heyman gave him a new attitude. And Heyman gave him the biggest stage possible to make his return. Attacking CM Punk at Survivor Series in the main event of a premium live event? That's not how you bring back a mid-card act. That's how you relaunch a future star. And now Austin Theory is back in the conversation. People are talking about him again. People are interested in what he's going to do next. And under Paul Heyman's guidance, there's no limit to how far he can go. The dynamic within the Vision is also worth examining. You have Braun Breaker, the young lion who is destined for greatness. You have Bronson Reed, the monster who destroys everything in his path. You have Logan Paul, the outsider who brings mainstream attention and credibility. And now you have Austin Theory, the wild card who can adapt to any situation. Paul Heyman has assembled a perfect mix of talent. Each member serves a specific purpose. Each member brings something unique to the table. And together, they're nearly unstoppable. But there's always tension within factions. There's always the possibility of betrayal. We've seen it before. D-Generation X imploded. The Shield broke up. Evolution fell apart. The NWO collapsed under the weight of too many egos. Will the Vision suffer the same fate? Will Braun Breaker eventually turn on Paul Heyman and go his own way? Will Austin Theory get jealous of the spotlight Breaker receives? Will Logan Paul's celebrity status create friction within the group? These are questions that will be answered in the months to come. But for now, the Vision is united. They're focused. And they're coming for every championship, every accolade, and every shred of power on Monday Night Raw. Let's also consider CM Punk's position in all of this. He's been in situations like this before. He's been the underdog fighting against impossible odds. He's been outnumbered and outgunned. And every single time, he's found a way to survive. Whether it was battling the Authority, whether it was his feud with the Shield, whether it was his legendary rivalry with John Cena, CM Punk has proven time and time again that he thrives under pressure. He's the best in the world for a reason. He's not just talented. He's mentally tough. He's resilient. And he refuses to give up. But this time might be different. This time, he's not just facing one opponent. He's facing an entire faction led by the greatest strategist in WWE history. Paul Heyman has been in this business for decades. He knows every trick. He knows every loophole. He knows how to manipulate situations to his advantage. And he's going to use every resource at his disposal to take that World Heavyweight Championship away from CM Punk and put it around Braun Breaker's waist. The odds are stacked against Punk. The deck is completely stacked. And even though we want to believe that Punk can overcome, even though we want to have faith that he'll find a way to win, the reality is that he's walking into a war where the enemy has all the advantages. January 5th is going to be one of the most intense, brutal, and emotionally draining nights in WWE history. Barclays Center in Brooklyn. CM Punk defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Braun Breaker. Paul Heyman at ringside orchestrating chaos. Austin Theory lurking in the shadows waiting to strike. The possibility of another mystery attacker revealing themselves. And an entire arena full of fans who are going to lose their minds no matter what happens. If CM Punk retains, it will be one of the greatest championship defenses of his career. If Braun Breaker wins, it will solidify him as the future of WWE and confirm that the Vision is the dominant force on Monday Night Raw. Either way, this match will have lasting consequences that reverberate throughout the entire company. And that's what makes professional wrestling so incredible. That's what makes storylines like this so compelling. We're not just watching matches. We're watching stories unfold. We're watching characters evolve. We're watching good versus evil, honor versus manipulation, resilience versus overwhelming odds. Austin Theory's unmasking wasn't just a reveal. It was a statement. It was Paul Heyman announcing to the world that he's in control. It was the Vision declaring that nobody is safe. It was the beginning of a new chapter in Monday Night Raw's history. And we're all along for the ride. So here's what I want you to do. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know. Post it on social media. Send it to your friends. Let's get the word out about what's happening on Raw because this storyline deserves all the attention it's getting and more. Comment below and tell me what you think. Do you believe there's a second mystery attacker? Do you think CM Punk will retain his championship? Do you think Austin Theory is about to become a main event star under Paul Heyman's guidance? I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your theories. I want to hear your predictions. Because the SLAMZONE family is built on conversation, passion, and our shared love for professional wrestling. This is the story of the year. This is the storyline that everyone will be talking about for months. Austin Theory's return. The Vision's dominance. CM Punk's fight for survival. Paul Heyman's master plan. It all comes to a head on January 5th, and we will be here to cover every single second of it. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Join the SLAMZONE family for more intense wrestling breakdowns every single week. Because legends are being made right now. History is being written right now. And you don't want to miss a single moment of what's coming next. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this journey. And remember, in professional wrestling, nothing is ever as it seems. The mask has fallen. The truth has been revealed. But the war has only just begun. This is SLAMZONE, and we'll see you next time for more of the most electrifying, shocking, and unforgettable moments in sports entertainment. Stay tuned. Stay ready. Because the Vision is watching. And you might just be next.